Hi there. The biggest challenge, the biggest obstacle that most people, regardless the educational background, cultural background, family background, socioeconomic background, and regardless their standing on the socioeconomic ladder, or whatever their station in life at a particular point in time. The biggest challenge, the biggest obstacle that I've seen people face in their lives, the most common one, has been the inability to identify their own defining talent. Now, I qualify this based on my own history as someone who has spent most of his adult life working with people, working with competencies, working with opportunity creation, working with job search and career strategy. So let me give you my history, an insight into my history, so that you get a picture, a context from which I'm coming. Right? So I studied human resource management starting at Polytechnic, a 3-year diploma in business course at Temasek Polytechnic, before I moved on to university to get my Bachelor of Commerce with majors in management, human resource management, and industrial relations. Right? I graduated with that. And then my first job out of university was as a headhunter. And then I went on to work in rehabilitation, where my job was to help people get into productive vocation by means of competency training, skills training, and resume writing, interview preparation, job search preparation, so on and so forth. And since 2013, I've consistently been working as a personal coach to people for different reasons, including and at foremost for the purposes of career coaching, helping people who have either very high potential or people who are at very senior levels in terms of job titles and the thresholds they've crossed in their careers, to rebrand themselves, to rewrite the resumes, to make career switches, so on and so forth, right? So coming from this background, I've seen people from all walks of life, all kinds of backgrounds, trying to help them open up opportunities for themselves in terms of building or starting a career trajectory or restarting one. And across all these sorts of people that I've encountered doing all of that, this is the most common, biggest challenge, biggest obstacle I found in them, which is the inability to identify their own defining talent. And the vast majority of people that I've met for the purposes of job coaching or career coaching, or helping them prepare for an interview or to rewrite the resume, or as a headhunter, whatnot, the vast majority of them have not known that they are facing that, or they were facing this challenge or this obstacle of being unable to identify or define their own defining talent until someone else, someone like me, would tell them. Right? Now, what do I mean by a defining talent? Now, every human being on earth that is able-minded, able-bodied, has some form of a talent or another, whether it's identified or not, whether it's realized or not, whether it's developed or not, is a separate story. Let's leave that for another conversation, for another day, perhaps another video on this channel. But what this talent is something that every individual who is able-minded and able-bodied would have That talent being the ability to either do something that most other people would not be able to do it in the same manner. So an ability to do something in a unique manner, a manner so unique that it is of added value and strategic advantage to whomever you do it for, in a way that others cannot match. It's unique to you, that ability. Or the ability to do something that others absolutely cannot do, not by your means, not by any other means, or at least not the vast majority. That is talent. For example, when we talk about talent, let's take the most obvious example. Let's take the music artists or actors in movies. We appreciate them, actors, for playing roles that others would not be able to bring to life on screen in the same manner. And same with musicians. They produce sound, or with their voices, they sing something which, well, others with their voices or others with their musical sense would not be able to do in quite the same way. Now, this can apply to anything. People are talented in different ways, not just artistic. Some people are very, very talented with algorithms or with programming or with machine language. Some are absolutely very, very talented with mathematical formulae. Some people are absolutely very, very talented with biochemistry research. Some people are absolutely very good with interviewing candidates just right to surface just the best, absolute best quality of information for the purposes of recruitment and fulfilling vacant positions in a company. So they make absolutely very talented recruiters, for example. So the spectrum of talent it's very, very wide. It's infinite. It's as infinite as the number of tasks that we can tally that exists, right, in human civilization. Now, that said and done, different people have different talents. But the biggest challenge that I've seen in most of my adult life, in most people, is that they can't tell that they even have this challenge. That's the first layer. And the second layer is that the challenge is they can't tell, they can't seem to identify what that talent is that defines them. And then this goes one step further. Even when people know that they have a certain talent, for a wide variety of reasons, most people, even upon identifying that talent in themselves that is unique to them, that's defining of them, they're not able to bring themselves to make the most, the absolute best of that talent. So this is the biggest challenge, biggest obstacle that most people have. Now, there are many ways to get around this, right? Now, first question, do you know that you have this problem, this challenge, this obstacle of being unable to identify your own defining talent? That's the first thing you may want to solve. There are many ways to get around doing that. Second, some people, this is my challenge. I don't know what my defining talent is. I know this is a problem, but I don't know how to solve this problem. How do I go about identifying my own special skills or abilities that are unique to me, that are of strategic value or advantage to others if they work with me? How to go about that? There are various ways, various solutions. The third level, I've identified my special skill, my special talent, my special ability. Now I don't know what to do with it. Should I capitalize it? Should I not capitalize it? If I want to capitalize on it, if I want to optimize on it, what is the best way to go about doing it? How do I best gain the most out of it? How do I answer that question? There are various ways now to resolve that as well. Now, for all of these things, one possible solution, and it's a good solution. And I'm not just saying this to market my own services. Well, admittedly, to some extent, I am. But I would suggest, as a coach myself, as a personal coach myself, engage or hire a good coach who has your best interests at heart, who's not going to charge an arm and a leg to really juice you for cash, but who's really going to have some very strong interests of yours at heart, very genuinely, and charge a small fair fee for it, and seek that professional help. I would recommend that. It may be me, it may be myself. Of course, you're welcome to turn to me. Whether I'm a good fit for you or not, it's a different matter. We only establish that after we have perhaps an introductory conversation. Or you may get someone else, wherever you may be, whomever you may be comfortable with, to help you address these issues, to at least start somewhere. All the best.